Hi, welcome to the 10X Glam and Gab channel here on YouTube. It is great to see everyone, whether it's your first time or you're coming back. Thanks so much for tuning in. I know there are a lot of places that you could scroll by and not stop by, and you have chose to stop here, hang out with me where I do a little bit of glam and a little bit of gab, and we're going to get right into it because there are quite a few things that I want to cover today. We are going to do some glam. First of all, I'm going to give a follow-up to those that are tracking my last video. I talked about how I was headed to the dermatologist to electively have removed 2 moles from my face. They were just raised and in really awkward spots, and so I went and had it done. I have to say it went as well as it could go. Okay, I had actually 5 little other areas on my face like designated for some shaving, and we got through 2, and I said, I think that's enough. I'll come back if I want more. And so 2 days ago, so this is 2 days in, I've done skincare very strategically around these 2 areas. I have not put any skincare. I'm not going to put any skincare or makeup directly on these spots until they heal. Let me lean in. This one here was quite raised, and it was really irritating me. That both are in awkward spots. If you're tracking my channel, you also know I have the terrible habit of touching my face, rubbing my eyes, all the things, and these haven't been with me my entire life. Okay, they have just kind of like surfaced, if you will, and the dermatologist said this comes with age. So there it is. I had thought about getting this one up here removed, but it's been with me now for a couple of years. It's not really getting any bigger. When I get my eyebrows threaded, it just seems to like it doesn't it doesn't interfere with that process, and so I'm leaving it alone. They had to do some shots in the area to numb the surface area around where they shaved off, and after they shaved off, they gave it a little bit of electricity. That's what she said. I think it was more like cauterizing, and that was 2 days ago. So I thought I would just go ahead and show you my aftercare instructions. This is the tape that I got at the Swedish pharmacist that I showed in my last video that's not cooperating. So we're going to go ahead and try this again. We're going to go ahead and patch up these 2 areas, and then I'm going to go in just with some surface concealer and talk a little bit. What I want to gab about today is I did go and see the Devil Wears Prada on May 1st. So that was opening day. I went with my son who's going to turn 18 soon. And over the years, I can't tell you how many movies I've gone with him and the other son, the kids in general, right? Like as parents, and I know my parents did it too. I can still remember going to see Return of the Jedi, right, in the movie theater. My mom took us. I think she was even pregnant with my younger brother. Anyway, like we take the kids to the movies, whether we really want to see them or not. And this movie, I have been waiting for a very long time, The Devil Wears Prada 2, to come out. I've probably seen the first one, no exaggeration. See, these aren't close to the color of my skin, so I'm going to stick with these, although I'm going to the pharmacy today to see if they sell them in like round patches, so I don't have to keep cutting them off here. So we're just going to let that like sit on, then we're going to start doing some concealer. Anyway, yeah, I've probably seen the OG Devil Wears Prada over 20 times, and this is the first movie in a very long time that I wanted to see for myself. My kiddo watched Devil Wears Prada 1 like last weekend with me, learned all the characters. I even quizzed him afterwards. I quizzed him before we went. I'm like, do you remember her? Do you remember her? What's her catchline? Anyway, and we just had so much fun. I'm not going to give any spoiler alerts because I watched every possible trailer interview with the cast that I feel like I could have watched before seeing that movie. And I was still surprised. I thought they've done an excellent job with the trailers to keep people interested, or get people intrigued, or get people interested is probably the better way to say it, without giving away too much of, without spoiling anything before you went. Like there were some things that happened, some twists and turns that I just didn't see coming. And I consider myself pretty astute. So so that was fantastic. What I wanted to talk about a little bit, I guess, is the makeup. Oh, we got a little close to the patch, but that's okay. The patch, we got close to the patch because it's doing such a good job camouflaging, right? I'm like, oh, unless I look really close in. I mean, there you can see it. Listen, it's nothing, right? It's totally nothing compared to, what I was sort of putting up with when these things were there. So I'm like really happy. Anyway, so I paid close attention to the makeup because Meryl Streep, come on, she's a goat, right? I mean, everybody knows she's a goat. It doesn't matter. I dampened this a little bit before we started with just a little bit of water. It doesn't matter if you're Gen Z, if you're Gen X, if you're a boomer. Everybody loves Meryl Streep. Everybody, she transcends generations, and she is just a goat. She's a goat in what she does. So, and my friends, she has vintage skin, right? I mean, the woman is 76 years old, I believe. And so and they didn't hide her. Like, they didn't do, they weren't like this, like only doing like really far up shots. Like, there were close up shots of her, okay? So you could get, and Anne Hathaway for that matter, who has aged. It's been 20 years since between the two movies, 1 and 2 of The Devil Wears Prada. And so they did some close ups of, all the actresses. And the thing that I noticed with Meryl Streep, and this is where we're going as we're going to get more vintage over the next 20 years, brightening. As our skin continues to age, right, come more vintage, we are going to focus more on brightening areas and less on concealing areas, because there's going to become a point where the fine lines and the wrinkles are just so intense that, stuff's going to settle into it. I don't care what kind of product is out there or what it's claiming. It's just going to be the fact. Less of creating a base, which I didn't think that on Meryl's face I'm sure that there was a base, but she looked, let's say she had the real skin look, but around her eyes, down her T-zone, light, the light brightening stuff. On her lids, like her eye makeup, light colors. And of course her lips, you can do, I feel like our lips are safe through all the years and through all of our eras. I think we can always, no matter what, have fun with our lippies. So that was my take on Meryl Streep's makeup. Beautifully vintage skin. They brightened it where they needed to brighten it. They didn't have any cakey, achy base down. The eyelids looks, she had a look on her lids, right? She was in full glam. But again, it favored toward like the light, nothing too dark. And yeah, she just looked very natural. She looked beautiful. She is a beautiful woman. And Anne Hathaway, I can't complain about Anne's makeup. I also thought that they did her as natural as they could, except for her eyes. There were several looks that she had in that movie where I was just like, it's too dark. It is way too dark. She had way too dark of an eye look. But they did zone in on her too, and she's got some of this stuff that I have going on here too. Remember, I don't know, she's probably 10 years younger than me at least, maybe 12. But she's also getting, she even has a little mark like that, I noticed, in almost the exact same area, because you can see, you can't completely cover it up with makeup because it's raised, right? And so the texture picks up. So anyway, that's my take, a little bit of my take on Devil Wears Prada. Really enjoyed going to that. Thankful that the kiddo went with me and I didn't have to go by myself, although I'm not opposed to going to movies by myself. If you're tracking my channel, I have mentioned in the past, I'm a huge Selena fan. And when I lived in New York City in 1996, it was actually the first year that I moved there. From Michigan, like Madonna. That's what me and Madonna have in common. And I didn't go with that much money. Another thing me and Madonna have in common in our moves from Michigan to New York City. Anyway, that was the year, it might have been turned into 97. I can't remember. No, I think it was 96 that Selena came out in the movie theaters. And I went and saw Selena by myself right there, right in the Times Square movie theater. I could keep going on and on about how many movies I used to go to by myself. Yeah, no shame there. But I was happy to have my kiddo come with me, and he genuinely enjoyed it too. He couldn't necessarily weigh in too expertly on his opinion on the glam. Was Anne Hathaway's eye makeup too dark? Did you like the way they worked with Meryl's vintage skin and just brightened it in the spots that, that accentuated her, her features? Yeah, he couldn't go into all of that depth with me, but he was great company. All right, so that's, I think, all we're going to do. I'm going grocery shopping today. Actually, I might do a little bit of powder. But that's kind of this. Oh, no. We have to do the lippies. I promised in my last video, besides this is not all blended out, I have this terrible habit sometimes when I'm doing the videos and I only notice it after I upload. I'm like, oh, I missed that spot. But, as these things heal, probably a couple of weeks, and I can't wait. I'll share the healing process in case anybody else is interested in getting this done, and is having some reservations. Please, I'm always willing to be the guinea pig. We can't get away this fast because I promised in my last video, if you're tracking my channel, that I would show you this dupe that I have for the new MAC lipstick that I bought. It's in the shade Velvet Teddy. I told you that on I usually keep this in my drawer at work or in my bag that goes back and forth. I only have this in one shade. This is called Pear, P-E-A-R, Pear-fectly Blurry, and it's Covergirl from the Yummy collection. It is a matte yet nourishing. It's got some yummy skin living oils in here. Soft finish blur lippy, and I think it reminds, when I put the MAC on for the first time, it reminded me of this lippy. So let's just go in. Oh, and one of the things this one claims is it's a one swipe. It's a one swipe. I mean, aren't most lippies a one swipe? It is a lovely matte finish. All right, again, it's in the shade Pear-fectly Blurry, and I don't know, the MAC, I can tell the difference in luxe, right, between the two. This one's actually on sale. There's 8 shades of this particular product, and on Amazon right now it's 8 something. Maybe if I can get my act together before I go grocery shopping, I can find that that link and throw it up there, my associate link. All right, here is the Velvet Teddy from MAC. Leaning in. I mean, all right, I'll swatch them on my hands. On my hand, you can see the difference a little bit better. Like, I think the Pear-fectly Blurry, this is the Yummy side. I feel like that one is maybe like a little more pinkish. And over here on the matte side, I feel like it's a little more of like a muted rose, which is totally my jam. So here you are with the Velvet Teddy, and then here we're coming in with the Yummy. I made it a little bit thicker. That's the Yummy. But when it hits my lips, I mean, so there is the Yummy side, and there is the MAC side. So like $9 versus, I don't know what I paid for this, but it's a mini. So it's, I don't know what a full-size MAC lipstick costs, but this mini is going to last me just fine. As long as I don't lose it, it should be fine. All right, there we have it. I did pull out my e.l.f. This is in the shade Truth or Bear lip liner. It's a little bit brown for these shades, but I wanted to go in with a little bit of a lip liner. You can't even tell I put it on, but I know it's there. And I have some imperfections on my lips when they're bare. You can see them, like a little freckle that's on my lip. And the thing that I like about this matte, I've been wearing this little bullet here, a matte MAC, and it has some staying power. It does have more staying power than the Yummy. Like, I have to reapply this one more. And this one, I don't as much. I'm not saying it's a stain. It's not a stain. It's a matte lipstick. But it does have some staying power, and I don't have to reapply it as much. I guess that's what I'm getting at. All right, so I thought, do I need to do, like, if I needed to do a base while these things are cooking, like, I don't really want to put, like, makeup over them. I think that'd be weird. so I I need to like spot around them. So I thought stuff like this, my Maybelline eraser, or my any of my like e.l.f. Halo Glow, any of my, where's my e.l.f.? I don't think I can reach it. Anyway, I'm just gonna do some spotting, some spot base work, I think, until these things heal in these areas like cheeks, forehead, jawline, just wherever I feel like I want to get a little bit more coverage than I can get with just like the spot concealing. I get some over here. This is in the shade. I love this thing. This is 118. That's my shade in Maybelline. Go a little bit. I didn't want to crank it up because there's still a little bit on there from when I used it last. That sounds kind of gross. But these things, the thing about this is it's messy. There's no way to lock it back down. So those things tend to be messy. All right, I'm going to close the video. I'm going to close the video with, I'm going to do my brows first with a little bit of my NYX brow glue. I'm a collector, right? I've talked about this. I'm having my midlife makeup crisis, and I decided to document it here on YouTube. Although I think we're out of crisis mode. I think I've got a pretty good handle on this, and now I've just fallen more into like the collector category, I think, finding things that are working with my skin as it ages, right? And I guess that's the journey I'm continuing to share, along with some vloggy vlogs, I guess, every once in a while. I gotta go in. My only gripe about that NYX brow glue is that spoolie is so small, I inevitably have to go in with one of my disposables and just fluff them the way that I want. Not much going on there, but I love those things. So collecting. So say you're collecting whatever you're collecting. Say you collect dolls. Don't you think every once in a while you want to go in and brush your doll's hair? Okay, you collect stamps or you collect coins. Don't you ever once in a while want to go in and organize your albums of those, right? So I do that with my makeup. I just want to show you something really quick. I want to show you like how perfectly reflective I got my Charlotte Tilbury compact to look, and even this compact as well. Charlotte's packaging has so many grooves on it. It's part of like that luxe vibe that, like, if it's in a drawer, it's just sitting out and you're spraying and you're powdering everywhere, all of that settles into your compacts, right? And then they sort of get this little like, I'm going to put these side by side. When I went to get my makeup done in London with the Charlotte Tilbury makeup artist, on the wall, there was an art installation. Like, okay, the top store, this is in the Covent Garden shop. The top floor was like the makeup. You went downstairs, that's where they had all these beauty rooms. Some that I went into to get my makeup done. There was like a bridal party, like bachelorette party. A group of ladies, they were getting their makeup done. I was a little bit jelly, but hey, like I said, I don't mind doing things by myself. And then there were rooms that you could rent out for like like if you wanted to just like really party, you could rent out the rooms. Anyway, when you went down the stairs from the shop part down into the salon area, there's a huge wall with an art installation, and the whole thing was shaped like wings, like these huge wings, right? Where's my Charlotte? Like, okay, let's look at my concealer. Do you see these wings on the packaging? Okay, well, let me turn it around. Do you see the wings, right? The whole wall was wings made of compacts, made of this size. And they were so shiny. It was like you could look in and it was like looking in a mirror. And if I look in this, okay, it's distorted. My face is like, but it's shiny. And I'm just gonna show you. I did some polishing, and I just want to show you how, if you're a collector and you want to take pride in some of your stuff, and you've got some of these. I even cleaned up my Too Faced one, so this is not unique to, where's my Too Faced? No, I can't find it. Here it is. It's not unique to me just like polishing up my Charlotte Tilbury, being all bougie compacts. I polished up my Too Faced one, which was looking pretty grimy, for lack of a better word. And I don't know, it's just kind of like, it just Do I have better things I could do with my time? Probably, but collecting things is a hobby, right? And so why not take care of everything? Look at that. Look at that. It's already, this was just water, my friends, just a little bit of a water. We polish our silverware. Actually, I don't polish my silverware. And you can do it on the inside as well, because the inside of these compacts get really, this was my older one, right? Where I've hit a lot of pan going on, but I can even bring, like, look at, okay, we're going to look on the inside. We're going to go right around that edge. Can see the difference, right? Look at that. Oh, it's so cute. Look at that. Look at how perfect it came up. Now let's do the other side. And then, of course, we can go in here and boom, it's spiffy like new. I don't know. I just, am I a little bit OCD? Not really. I don't consider myself an OCD person, actually. I just wanted to, you know, I just like to keep my stuff that I'm paying good money for, you know, when I look at it, when it's in my line of sight, just have, like, you know, some pride in it. All right, look at that. That's all you like. Oh, that's so greasy. That's so grimy. But I'm telling you, talk about a one swipe, and we got this thing like, whoo, shiny. I'm going to have to look through my camera reel and find that installation, because I took several pictures of it. I took a picture of me and my reflection is in it because it was so mirror-esque. And I'm going to spiff up my Guerlain because I love my, you know, what I have of Guerlain. You know, I'm quite proud of my Guerlain collection, including my blushes. And I think this is one I wanted to use today. No, that's soft pink. I wanted to use my coral one. This is my summer blush here from Guerlain. Woo! Look at that reflection. It's in a nice coral shade. It's in the shade, oh, it's coming at me. Oh, why, like, I can't, 02. That took a while. Coral clear. Let me just get a brush, and that's all I'm going to do is put on a little bit of this. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you're well. I hope your family's well. Thanks for hanging out with me. Kind of a weird video, not gonna lie. More chatty than glammy, but you know why. If you stuck in and you watched it this long, you know where I'm going with it, and where and where I need to go over the next couple of weeks, you know, with my with how I get ready, just, you know, while my skin heals up. So, yeah, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, take care. I had a great time hanging out. I always do. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.